Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, 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 Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, 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 Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allah, Allah.
Allahu, 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 Allahu.
Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Was the greatest man that ever lived, yeah. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Was the greatest man that ever lived, yeah. He's the one who taught me life. He taught me everything that I know. I thank Allah for mine to be. Yeah. Everything that I do, it's from the book of Sunnah that I follow each and every day. Yeah. See my bed, cause my prophet said so. I pray my sunnahs, cause my prophet said so. Love the ummah, cause my prophet said so. Said so, said so. Thank you Allah for our prophet. His sunnahs are the only riches that we need. This is real success, profit with no interest. In Jannah we rest. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine. Was the greatest man that ever lived, yeah. Mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine, I'll be mine.
Radio at the start, 90.4 FM, Marathon, 105.6 FM. Join Sumaya Khan, Jamie Beaumont, and Leon Rehman on Youth Frequency.
Bringing you inspiring conversations, real issues, and youth that are making a difference.
Youth Frequency, where young voices shape the future.
Only on Radio Al Ansar.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, welcome to Youth Frequency this Friday evening. I know you guys are going out. Y'all are very youthful. And rainstorm, cold, snow, the youth still want to go out. Well, assalamu alaikum. You know, today, this evening, we have a really nice topic, a topic that will make you think. So, Youth Frequency on Radio Al Ansar 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Yes, I'm Sumaya Khan, co-host Jamie, Liam, and for the next hour, we are turning up the conversation on something that affects every artist, entrepreneur, content creator, musician, designer, and dreamer. They say creativity is magic. But what happens when the mind creating that magic is exhausted, tired, anxious, or just overwhelmed? Well, this evening we're asking the tough questions. Can creativity survive burnout? Is mental health the missing ingredient behind great ideas? And how do we create spaces where talent can thrive without sacrificing well-being? So joining us in studio, she's making her way, is the phenomenal guest who lives and breathes creativity every single day. So get comfortable to join the conversation. And remember, you don't have to struggle in silence. This is Youth Frequency, where your voice matters. Hello, guys.
Hello.
I just love y'all's hairdo.
Hi there.
It smells so amazing. Today, Friday was wash and set and leave.
Pamper Day, self-care.
Pamper Day, self-care. Yeah, gosh, a really strong topic. Mm-hmm. And mental health, we always touch on that there. A lot of people think that the youth don't experience mental health. They find they're cool. You take a drink, you pop a pill, you go and party. That's how generally the majority of the youth live today, regardless of race or religion.
Yes.
But again, they need to find the problem and try to ease whatever is affecting them. That's the mental health. So, Jamie, you know about this. You have lectured, you have counseled, motivated, chatted, and had conversations with the youth out there. What does good mental health actually means to you? Good mental health.
Wow. Your mental health defines everything. So good mental health looks like a healthy life in general. It looks like healthy habits. It looks like you really taking care of yourself. And to be honest with you, a lot of the time, especially because of social media, we feel that mental health looks like, for example, certain self-care routines and,
Eating salad.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong with those things. Those things could help your mental health to a certain extent. However, good mental health really is in the simple things. It's in taking moments for you to be alone, allowing the thoughts to just come up, allowing yourself to spend time in nature, allowing yourself to heal the things that aren't, wanting to heal. It's really about being open and vulnerable with yourself and delving into these things that are worrying you rather than finding an escapism or just trying to numb your brain, basically. And I think a lot of the youth rather try to escape from it and numb their brains. And I think that's why a lot of them are struggling with their mental health.
Exactly. Mental health. It's so important. One tends to forget this here. And I think it also affects adults, everyone,
Absolutely.
whatever negativity they are going through. You might see somebody sitting there. You don't know what they're going through. You might see somebody who is just snapping and rude and sarcastic, you're even so afraid to greet them. You don't know what's going on their mental health.
Absolutely.
Then you'll see someone who's sitting there, you're talking to them, everything's just going over their head.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even know that it is because they're so deep in it, but they're just not even really with you.
Exactly. I saw a couple of reels of where people were celebrating their birthday, happy. You would never say dancing and just enjoying their time with their family. And 2 days later, they committed suicide.
So the most depressed
where
people.
were the red flags? Where was the red flags? That's so scary. That's what parents and everybody worries about.
Cases like that are actually so common. A lot of the time, it's truly the brightest people, the people that are there for everybody. It's the people that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
And that's why mental health is such an important topic and you need to take extra care because you never know what the next person's facing.
Exactly. Liam, why do creative people often experience burnout? You don't experience burnout. You're very creative with all that you do.
Where's the camera?
Over there.
Guys, he set his own camera.
Stop doing stuff for free. Creative people tend to suffer from burnout because they tend to overdo it. Sometimes you don't take the necessary breaks, especially when you get into the flow of things. I know sometimes when I'm in a rhythm, especially when I'm like doing design work or client work, once I've gotten into that rhythm, I can go for maybe like 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours at a time, just working on a project. I think when I was still a student and still a younger designer, I could do even longer than that. But now I keep it to like 3 to 4 hours because I know it was, if I overdo it, it's going to come to catch me at the end. It all adds up. I think a lot of creative people also suffer from burnout because they don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
They aren't appreciated for their craft in a lot of ways. Being underpaid and overworked in terms of your creativity.
And always thinking, I'm saying this is the truth, always helping everybody.
Yeah.
People tend to love your hand, but not you.
Yeah.
And you're taken for granted.
Yeah. I like that one. People tend to love your hand, but they also very not eager to fill it.
No, true.
They want to take stuff out of your hand, but they want to put money in your hand,
Exactly. and not everybody has that what do I say, like,
that savviness, that business
or that
savvy.
straightforward nature. Like some of us
Yeah.
will say, never mind, and we still continue, God will bless us, Allah will see for us, or we'll have blessings. But again, we need to take charge.
I think the biggest thing is now understanding how to say no or respect yourself. And the best way I learned how to do that was to prioritize my time with the cash figure. So like, if I am going to do this thing, you need to pay me X amount of money to do this thing because I would much rather be at home spending time with my family. I'm giving you my free time. I have a job. I get paid there. If you want design work from me, I'm happy to help you, but this is the amount. If that amount is not met, then I'm not budging, you know? So people who are creators really need to understand how to prioritize themselves, get value for their work, and to learn to say no.
And, a lot of the young guys, they're still learning. I'm not saying they're learning, but they're still trying to perfect the people skills.
Yeah, the
Dealing
soft
with
skills.
human resources
Absolutely.
is very emotional, touchy, dangerous. So you have to be so careful. And I think as you get older, you can just tell somebody whatever and walk away.
Yeah, I think there's a way you have to go about it. You have to be very tactful with it. You can't just like be rude off the cuff, but you definitely can't just be too polite. People walk all over you. Like I said, they like to take out your hand, but they like to put money in your hand.
Can I use you as a motivational speaker for me every morning?
No problem. No problem. I'll record a voice note, make it your alarm.
No, but what you say is the truth.
Yeah.
And also you have when you're younger, you feel like the fear of nobody liking you or including you if you don't do favors or assist.
Also, we doubt our experiences as young creators.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you don't back yourself with the ability. Like, especially if I went through tertiary education to do what I do as a designer. So even with my backing and my educational backing and stuff like that, as a young creative, you doubt yourself. So even at that, we were still so scared to ask for what we truly deserve, a little pay for whatever work we were doing. We were like, no, let's do it for free. It's exposure. But let me tell you something.
Some of us are still doing it in our old age.
You can't eat exposure. The tenant's not going to take exposure when you got to pay rent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's real talk, what you're saying. Well, our guest, the phenomenal woman, just walked into studio. She's a breath of fresh air, creativity, and so much more. Jamie, let's interview and introduce her.
Welcome.
I just love your name, by the way.
Lafoy. Thank you so much. Good evening, Sumaya. Good evening, Liam. Good evening, Jamie. And to all the listeners, I'm really excited to be here. And my apologies for running late.
No, you know what? In our books, you're a celebrity. Yeah. We are so honored to have you here with all that you do, especially taking the time on a Friday night.
Yeah,
because it's always happening for the youth on a Friday evening. So thank you so much. Tell us all that you do.
Certainly. My name...
don't forget any.
Okay, I'll do my best. My name is Ashley Lafoy. I am publicly known as Lex Lafoy. I am a rapper, a writer, a creative project manager, an events producer, a film producer. I'm a mom. I am also a Business and Arts South Africa Cultural Producers Program graduate. I am currently studying my second year honors in health and community psychology. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Well-rounded.
Yeah.
If anyone, Yamonli, she mentioned what she just mentioned, they would have asked her, are you not looking for a job or something? No, but wow, that's amazing. And how do you juggle and manage everything?
To be honest, Sumaya, it's not easy. I was just telling Brandon that I came with this evening that I had to fit in a 20-minute nap.
You got it. I didn't even get
to power nap this evening. It's not easy, but God gives you the strength to carry out the gifts and the purposes that you are given. And it's a practice. Every day you get better at balancing the responsibilities that you have. It's also a conscious, intentional decision that one makes to be in service to one's purpose and in service to the gifts that we have. So it is an intentional decision that one has to make. And of course, we can't do this on our own. It also takes the support of our families, the support of our communities, the support of our collaborators, because I believe through collective, conscious, intentional decision making, we can make a more effective and a more productive creative industry, especially in Durban. We need that.
In Durban. And there's so much of talent in Durban.
Absolutely.
Especially among the youth, whether you're looking at sports, Liam, whether you're looking at, arts and crafts, or if you're looking in so many different things, right from baking and selling cakes.
True.
But a lot of us, the youth, and even everybody else, it's like you cut yourself short and you think, oh, I'm just doing this. Yeah, it's no biggie.
Yeah.
Always with the imposter syndrome. Too many people.
Yeah.
I like that. That's our next topic. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Imposter
Put it in the
syndrome.
back pocket there.
I'll just call my 26-year-old friends, all of them, including me, so they can talk about their journey of imposter syndrome. Yeah, that would be a great show. Is there pressure always to produce your best work?
There definitely is pressure, and I think it comes from our overexposure to social media.
Social media. Sorry. We have to go. Every time social media. You know what? A lot of people say, when social media started getting big and you moved from the phones, which could take picture and couldn't take picture, and then we had all our religious leaders telling us it's Satan, it's Shaitan, it's the devil, and you know what? Now you think like it's like hypnotizes you, like whatever you're giving me to eat, okay, you're walking out, not even looking, you hypnotize, and now when there's load shedding.
Yes.
Or when there's no electricity, we're talking to families. I mean, like we're really talking to you.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
So is there pressure?
There is pressure because, it's human nature to compare oneself.
100%.
Sometimes we do it productively as a means of being inspired. Other times it can be unproductive, where it can leave us feeling crippled or feeling helpless because we may not have access to the resources that others have access to, yet we still have a burning desire to create, to produce, to show up, to present our offerings, our creative offerings into the space. So it can work for us and against us. It definitely requires a certain amount of maturity. And I think that's why a lot of the social media platforms do have age restrictions, because without emotional and psychological maturity, it's very easy to fall into a state of helplessness because you're looking at what others are doing and you're instinctively comparing yourself. So my advice to others, like to myself, is when you feel that way, rather take a break. Rather step away, because you don't want to sink deeper into that feeling of feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling uninspired. Rather take a break, go watch your favorite comedy show, go speak to your family, go outside, spend time in nature, read a book. But definitely when you can feel yourself sinking into a dark, depressive state, rather step away.
That's so true. But then we still want to be out there.
Yeah.
We still want to be out there. We still want everyone to see what we're doing. We still want to communicate with everyone.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone to know what we're going through.
Yeah.
And that's when we truly crash. We truly crash down. Tell me, with all that you do you feel that every time you need to be better than your next performance, your next whatever you do?
Definitely.
But we, like the audience or the listeners, we don't see you as that. We feel that, no, it's natural. You're like confident, everybody knows you and what you do. But we don't know what's going on.
Yes. There's definitely a lot of internal strife within a creative. There's always a wanting and a striving to be more, to do more, to achieve more. That's a very natural, healthy desire, to grow, because we are living beings, I think where it becomes unhealthy is where we put ourselves under pressure that is maybe not divinely timed for our lives, because through comparison, we might say, oh, so-and-so is there, I should also be there. Whereas we have our own individual journeys that are perfectly plotted out in perfect time, in perfect divine time, for us to achieve those things when we are ready to hold them. you know, because should we not be ready to hold them, we might squander those blessings, or we may not have the emotional or psychological maturity to maintain those blessings, you know. We've seen people, for example, in an extreme example, people who win the lotto and end up worse off than they were, you know. So that's just an example. Coming from the rap community, they say you're only as good as your last performance. So there definitely is that pressure to constantly improve from the next, from the last performance or the last piece of creative work.
Do you feel like, when you were younger and performing and all that you do, it was a bit difficult to mentally, set yourself? You put pressure on you. And as you grew and became more confident in your work, what you do you feel like it got easier, or did it get more difficult?
That's a very good question, especially living in Durban, where a lot of us come from very involved families. I'll use that word.
Nosy.
Forward.
Forward. Checking you out but not putting likes.
In your business.
That's another topic, huh?
Yeah, no problem.
And sometimes it can also border on bullying, if we're being honest, you know. So it was not easy growing up in the home that I grew up in, because there was a lot of judgment. There was a lot of questioning, why are you doing this? Why can't you just do this instead? And for me personally, I felt I needed to step away. So I went to Johannesburg. It wasn't easy because I'd become a mum. And when I became a mum, there was more pressure. They were saying, no, you need to leave this alone now. You need to dedicate your life to being a mother. And I felt that I needed to still honor my gifts while being a mother. So it was a difficult decision, but I chose to go to Johannesburg to grow as a professional, to grow my network, to grow in my exposure, learning international standards of performance, of artistry, of creative business practice, so that I can come back and give and share what I do know. So it wasn't easy growing up, definitely. The family have tried to persuade me to do, other things. Thankfully, also coming from a balanced academic background, I've also studied. That has given me, I feel, the logical approach, the rational approach to the creativity, which is like a left brain, right brain balance. So I feel like I have a more grounded approach, looking at the creative output itself and the business side and events, things that people are more practically related to and can say, oh, okay, that is a job. So it wasn't easy, but I think being stubborn helps.
Thank you for being honest.
No problem. Being stubborn definitely helps, and also testing my gift. I've tested my gift a lot of the times. When I was a child, I would take my stacks of lyric books, and I'm not saying anyone should do this, but I used to burn them and say, you know what, God, if this is my gift, let more come. That was my own thing. I do not encourage anyone to do that. But I tested it because I wanted to know, is this me being delusional, or is this something I actually need to do? And that was my method of testing it. But, as the family see us creatives, or have seen me as a creative, learn to find my place within the corporate creative space, and as a professional artist, they've learned to respect that more, because we as artists have to carry ourselves as professionals, especially in Durban. A lot of the time, our lack of advancement can actually be rooted back to the way we carry ourselves. Are we carrying ourselves as professionals? Are we honoring our gifts? Are we creatives with corporate ethics and working principles? Or are we lazy creatives who expect things to just come to us without putting in the work, for example? So it's taken a lot of chiseling. It's taken a lot of pruning. But eventually one gets there. And I'd love to add, when I walked in, you were speaking about the challenge of being recognized and being paid for your work. It is a challenge that we as Durbanites face in
100%.
particular. And it's going to take a collective shift of the mind for our parents, for our communities, for the gatekeepers, for the decision makers, for those in charge of budget, advertising boards, strategists. It's going to take a collective decision and, choice to say, how do we invest in creativity? Creativity is a viable career. We cannot do anything without creativity. There's a logo here, there's an advert there, and there needs to be a collective re-evaluation of what creativity means to us as a society. In Johannesburg, they see the value of creativity. In Cape Town, they see the value of creativity. In Durban, we need to see the value of creativity so that we as young creatives are not demotivated, but we are motivated, we are assisted, we are guided to say, oh, my child, you like this or you're into this. This is what you can study. This is a job you can get with this, and not the opposite where we are, cutting down our children's dreams and demotivating them, because artists are such sensitive people. We need to be extra sensitive in order to connect with the feelings and the emotions and the art that we put out. So it's very easy for an artist to lose hope, especially when those they love and depend on are cutting their dream short. So to the individual artist, I'm sorry to say, you yourself have to carry your faith. You yourself have to carry your dream. Nobody else is going to believe in your gift as much as you. And one day they will believe. But you have to keep on fighting.
That is why your name is just your artistry name, Lex.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And you match it. No, I love what you're saying, because a lot of people think that artists are stupid, dumb, they're blondes, they're all about material things, they have no brains. I mean, society portrays it like that there. And that can also affect you. Like when we tend to look at international artists, we tend to laugh, we look at them, the way they're dressing and whatever personal issues they're having in their personal life, but they're human beings, they're just like you and I. Jamie, going back to mental health, how do you know when you're mentally exhausted? How do you know? How do we know? Liam is laughing. How do you know? You never know.
You're gonna know.
You're gonna know.
You will know.
You will know.
That's why I'm laughing.
What do you do?
You will 100% know. First of all, physically, you're going to be shut off completely. You're going to be completely disconnected, not just from people, but from what you love. If it's something that you're also genuinely passionate about, for example, and you're feeling resentment and you wake up every single day and everything's just, that tells you so much about your mind. Sometimes life just feels like that, and we really do need, it's like a mental software upgrade, or just a little bit of time to let the computer stop heating up, let it chill for a while. Then you can go back, then you can dust it and clean it, let it sit for a little bit longer, then you can go back to it. People tend to just leave it running, and then it's switching off, and then they're heating it and kicking it because it must keep running. And that's how we treat ourselves as human beings, and that's how we treat our mind. But that's not the nature of our mind. When human beings can understand how our mind works, so spirituality is quite literally our mind, our body, our soul. Regardless of what beliefs you have, at the end of the day, we're all spiritual beings. And when we can learn to understand that this is how my mind works, it's connected to my body, but it's also connected to my soul. So let's just say with you, you're so shut off from, physically, your brain is so overloaded, this machine's just been going on. You're not going to be able to tap into your art authentically, because as Lex said, you have to be so sensitive. Now, when you're just shutting all of that, things within you become hard, quite literally hard. Because now this thing, it's the machine's heating up, right? So nothing else, you can't function within that. So you need to take a break. You need to understand that this is connected. If you're feeling it in your body, there's something going on in your mind. If you're seeing it in your mind, there's something going on in your body. So I think we also need to learn to listen to ourselves.
Setting boundaries.
Oh
learning
gosh,
to say no.
that is so underrated. And I don't understand how something as important as setting boundaries, we aren't taught it, and it's not normalized. Walking over people's boundaries is normalized, and it's actually so sad.
Exactly. Liam, social media.
The devil.
That is you, when you think, but this is the truth. When we have our shows, messages come in, 100% true. Social media.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Tiring.
It's exhausting. In terms of creativity, exhausting. Yeah.
Exactly. So does social media inspire creativity or destroy confidence?
I think it can do both. I think it's about how you use it. So I can speak from the perspective of a designer, and I have a lot of friends who are actually musicians and stuff like that. So in conversations with them, we would always talk about the impact of social media on our craft, respective to our area of expertise, right? So as a designer, social media is so good for getting references and exploring ideas and looking at how other people are able to communicate content in different ways and ways you would have never assumed. The double-edged sword is that you end up comparing your work to theirs and sort of cutting yourself down, or you looking at their final polished product and you seeing yours in the rough stages where you're still laying the framework, you're still molding your clay, and you want to make a direct comparison. So I would always say, in terms of concepting as an artist, whether you be a songwriter, a designer, visual artist, when using social media or any form of internet medium, always try and start on paper, get your core concept out, and then look to social media for reference to help guide how you're going to communicate. The minute you start seeing stuff before you've actually fleshed out a solid idea is when you start replicating or doing cheap ripoffs of other things. It can be used as a tool to build you. I know I just finished a course not too long ago on social media marketing and analytics and understanding how algorithms and how to use data that you record from your social media to sort of sell. Unfortunately, that's all we're going to do in this industry as artists, is we have to sell. So using social media as a tool to get your name out there, to get exposure on your name without that, go perform for nothing kind of vibe. Once you build a solid platform, people can actually see that you're taking things seriously, and that you've built something solid. You really are going for this thing, and they're more likely to want to work with you, and pay you for your time because you have some sort of notoriety there. The double-edged sword of that is now that if you don't have notoriety, but you still are delivering, like as an artist, your abilities, right? Lex, you can second this. You know what you're capable of. Yeah. But your social media, because of the way the algorithm works, may not necessarily show that. So people might cut you short because of that. And I know on the music side of things, if your social media is not popping, that's hard. But for designers, we have a portfolio of work. We don't need social media that much. So it's a double-edged sword. It's the devil.
Double-edged sword. What you're saying is so true, because you can be so happy when you're on social media and get so depressed because you're comparing yourself and everything is filters and not really true. Well, this is Youth Frequency. If you just joined us on Radio Al-Ansar, concepts, creatives and care, how mental health impacts creative spaces. We'll be taking a short ad break.
This segment is brought to you by Kenfield Auto, your RMI approved service and repair specialist. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Kenfield Auto.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. ربنا آمنا فاغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين.
Car won't start?
Kenfield Auto.
Noisy brakes?
Kenfield Auto.
Due for a service?
Kenfield Auto. Kenfield Auto, the answer to all your car problems. Your service and repair specialist for your VW, Audi, Suzuki, Toyota, or just about any vehicle. Kenfield Auto, your RMI and insurance approved workshop. Follow the red and white board in the passage at 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Call Shafi on 031 207 2399. Kenfield Auto.
Ladies, if you're looking for the perfect way to celebrate Women's Month, I found it. I'm Nazmira Kassem from The Breakfast Rush, inviting you to Her Mask, Her Story, where inspiration meets fun, friendships are strengthened, and every moment is made to remember. Tickets are just 300 rands. Book yours now by calling Al-Ansar Outreach on 031 208 1601. Come along and be part of something truly special. See you there.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
In South Africa, countless numbers of sick patients leave their homes at the crack of dawn to join long queues at clinics and public hospitals, many of them suffering pangs of hunger in addition to the symptoms of disease. The Al-Imdad Foundation's Slice for Life teams deliver sandwiches to these patients at more than 40 hospitals and clinics across the country. Help us to keep on relieving hunger. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المرابطين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم شد أزرهم وسدد رميهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم الطف بإخواننا في كل مكان يذكر فيه اسمك يا أرحم الراحمين. استنصروك يا الله فانصرهم. اللهم ارحم الضعفاء والفقراء والمساكين والأيتام والنازحين والمشردين والأسرى يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم أنج المستضعفين من المسلمين في فلسطين. اللهم كن لهم عونا ونصيرا. اللهم كن لإخواننا المرابطين في المسجد الأقصى. اللهم كن لهم ولا تكن عليهم. اللهم فرج همهم، نفس كربهم، داوي جرحاهم، عاف مبتلاهم، اشف مرضاهم، ارحم موتاهم، تقبل شهداءهم.
If you've got questions, we've got conversations. Join Sumaya Khan, Jamie Beaumont, and Rehman on Youth Frequency as we tackle the issues that matter most to young people. Fresh perspectives, big ideas, real impact. Youth Frequency, only on Radio Al-Ansar.
If you wanna look amazing, lady, you know what you gotta do right now. Cover up your beauty for the Almighty. You do all this for your deen. Sacrifice is only temporary. You know what you gotta do right now. Your hijab is your crown, we all see, and you wear it to serve Ilahi. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab. You wear it for Allah. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah.
She's independent. 90.4 FM. Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Assalamu alaikum. You are listening to Youth Frequency. Today we have a really, really great topic. It's teaching you how to set boundaries, how to take care of your mental health. Concepts, creatives, and care. How mental health impacts creative spaces. We are so honored. We have a celebrity in studio. We have a gentleman. If you're on YouTube, he's walking around and taking photos and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, gosh, we should have dressed up a little bit. Huh? Going to be on social media. But wow, we're really honored and grateful, especially on a Friday, you took the time to be here. And again, it's community work where whoever's listening to us, especially the youth, helping those artists what to do, how to set boundaries. How much does comparing yourself to others affects your creativity, Liam?
When you're as great as me, that doesn't affect you.
Oh, wow. I told you, I need you to motivate me every morning.
I'm going to give like a whole mantra list.
Yeah, give me a...
You're the greatest radio presenter that ever walked the earth.
Give me a USB.
Social media is the devil. Okay, comparing yourself can be a good thing.
Yeah.
Can have a major mental impact. I think it comes down to, especially with creatives, you look at people at their polished results and you think they got there overnight. And it comes down to that intersect between your ability versus your taste. Those two things will never always be aligned, because as you grow in ability, so does your taste expand. Therefore, when we compare ourselves to other people, we're doing it because our taste has grown to a certain level, but our skills may not necessarily be there. We want to achieve that look and feel. We want to achieve that kind of output, but we're not there yet. Therefore, when we see those people achieving it, we think, I should be there. I'm not there. My skill's not there. It's never going to get there. And then you start to go down this weird rabbit hole of, instead of actually getting down to creating and putting in the effort to hone your skill, you just start to feel sorry for yourself and you don't get much done because you're too busy looking at what other people are doing.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I like what you said, but again, we'll use you to motivate us. The next boy, what habits do you do to help you protect your mental health? What do you do?
That's a lovely question, Sumaya, because it definitely does take a lot of work, especially when we oftentimes grow up around unconscious parenting or unconscious habits. So it's once again an intentional, conscious thing where we have to decide, I am going to make a difference. I am going to create healthier habits for me than perhaps around me. And I love affirmations. I love prayer. I love running. Exercise is a definite must for anyone who's looking to improve their mental health. I'm part of a running club called Holy Fit. We meet every Saturday at outside Humble Coffee. In winter at 7 a.m. In summer at 6:30. And really just, for me, I'd say those are the main things that really assist me is prayer, affirmations, and running or some form of physical exercise. If I don't run, I sometimes hire a bicycle and just go for a ride along the promenade, on the beachfronts, or spend time in nature. These things are very important for us. As we know, the body is made up of various what we call happy hormones. So like your endorphins, your serotonin, your dopamine, and these are activated in various ways. Exercise is one of them. Hugging someone, or any form of physical contact, seeing babies, seeing animals, there are things that we can do to up our happy hormones that actually show you the body is a very capable chemical machine. It actually shows you that there's no need for drugs. The body actually has all the chemicals that it needs. And through forming healthy habits, we are able to let our bodies and our minds work for us and not against us. Because like Jamie said, it's like a software update. So many of us are negatively programmed, perhaps by the ways we were raised. A lot of unconscious messaging and words spoken over children when they're young. Some people say, hey, you stupid, hey, you don't know what you're doing, especially in our colored homes. And of course, these words, they do have impact, and so a lot of the times us as young people have to reprogram that messaging that we're exposed to and reprogram the messages that we have about ourselves. So instead of thinking, I'm stupid. Now I have to reprogram myself. So now I'm actually intelligent. Maybe my form of intelligence is not the maths and science way. Maybe it's a creative way or a practical way, you know? There's so many ways. It's called psychological positive reprogramming, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to change the messaging that we tell ourselves, because your mind can either work for you or against you. So habits, healthy habits, and of course eating healthy. Very, very important. Also surrounding yourself by people who inspire you and who lift you up, not those who pull you down and who are going to make you disbelieve in your dreams, but those who encourage and support you. These are all habits. Also touching base and staying grounded and visiting my family as often as I can. Very important for me. When I lived in Johannesburg, I missed that. So we formed our own circles, our own friendship groups, because we still needed the elements of community. Very important. As human beings, we are communal beings. And so spending time with family, spending time with collaborators or people that share the same vision and values as you is super important.
You know, they say the people who you hang around, you become them. And that's so true. Exercise, Liam. Oh,
Liam runs, doesn't he?
Yeah, I did the comrades too.
Wow, congratulations.
Got the medal too.
Guys,
That's
I'm
amazing.
not the only person that's ever run
No,
comrades.
for
You need
us,
to calm down.
It's achievement.
It's massive.
Achievement. And we spoke about mental health when you're an athlete, when you're running, what you go through. Jamie, what advice would you give someone out there who's young, who is, they're battling anxiety while still chasing their passion? You know, you're battling, but you still want to achieve.
Yes. Okay. I'd say a few things. Firstly, anxiety is living too much in the future. It's anticipating. So firstly, I'd say let's start there. Chances are if you're a very anxious person, you're also really sensitive to energy. Chances are you can feel a whole bunch of things happening. That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be something that's bad. Sometimes we can also just sense something energetically, and it could be something that's really exciting, especially if you are talking about dreams. Maybe you're really excited about your dreams, and inside of our body, we don't always know the difference between excitement and anxiety. It can feel very similar. So if you're not teaching yourself, like I said, it's just reprogramming. If I'm teaching myself that all these feelings are bad and it means something bad is going to happen, I'm programming my brain. So each and every single time it comes to a situation like that, I might feel that way. But if I can start reprogramming it to every time I feel that way, I'm going to stop and ask myself, okay, maybe I'm just excited about something. Or I can remind myself, not just because I'm feeling this way, does it mean that it's necessarily something bad. But I'll also say that if you are feeling afraid when it comes to your dreams, that also means that it's something that's really important to you. But the way that you look at it and the way that you go about it is going to be very important, and it's going to determine the outcome. So again, if you can understand it rather than you being anxious and see it from that perspective, because like energy also attracts like energy. So an energy or an emotion like anxiety is a very low vibrational energy. And our brain also follows patterns. So if I'm going to start thinking negatively, my brain is automatically going to jump to the next negative thing and then the next negative thing, because that's the nature of our brain. As I said earlier, if you can learn to understand our nature, you're going to be fine. The problem is we're not taught it, so we don't understand.
Exactly. Guys, I'm going to play a game with you.
Yeah.
Yay!
Let's go.
Well, you're going to complete the sentence, right?
Okay.
Right, and okay, but you're just going to start shooting, right? Creativity is
Powerful.
happiness is
Creativity.
burnout is
Yeah.
success is
Creativity.
peace is
Important.
rest is
Or required.
Extremely important.
home is.
Where the heart is.
Oh, I love that. That's so true. So let's look at this and that, right? As you said last time, let's flex it, right? Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Both, yeah.
Music or silence?
Both.
Both.
Digital art or pen and paper?
Both.
You start on pen and paper and then move to digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told us that.
Yeah,
you made it
you
very
have
clear. City or nature?
Both.
Ooh,
Balance.
both.
But if,
I live in
nature,
suburbs.
if I didn't need
nature,
anything
yeah.
else,
I
then
love nature.
Okay. Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Both.
Work alone or teamwork?
Both.
Plan everything or go with the flow?
A bit of both.
Okay. I feel most creative when?
It's 4:00 in the morning.
When I'm being myself.
In the shower.
I switch off by?
Midnight.
Oh, wow. I wish young people knew
themselves better.
Yeah.
Mental health is
important.
My biggest inspiration is?
My grandfather.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, time is just going. Before we end, what's one daily habit each one of us can say that keeps your mental health going? Just for our listeners out there, for the youth, anything.
Positive self-talk. And just as a little extra, I want to throw in something that I do. I have an admin lady in my head. Her name is Patricia. Find your own name for your admin lady. Patricia's mine.
Our imaginary friend.
Yes. So basically, whenever these negative thoughts come up, I'll remember Patricia. Then I'm like, oh, Patricia, you're checking me to say, don't think these things. Thank you so much. So I would suggest you get your own admin lady, but not Patricia, because she's mine.
She's taken.
She's taken.
I think whatever you do for work, if you spend your day in the office, then you need to spend some time outside after work. If you spend your time outside, then you need to spend some time inside after work. Just do a little bit of the opposite of whatever it is that you do. Just switch it up. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Related to Jamie's point around admin, I'd say making lists. It's very important to get the information out of your mind and onto paper, because when it's all in your mind and you're holding it there, you can feel overwhelmed, and sometimes it's all tangled in a knot. But the moment you begin to unravel it and list it and write it out clearly, you begin to feel less overwhelmed and just tick off things as you go. You also increase your sense of capability as you do that.
Wow, what an incredible conversation. We can go on and on. Lex Lafoy, we will be seeing you again in studio.
I would love that, Sumaya. And I just want to say it's so encouraging to see these two young people, Liam and Jamie.
They're keeping me abreast,
I love
with all the bro.
I love them,
When some mommy bear comes, who's mommy bear?
No.
Yeah, my mom, my mom.
Oh, yeah.
She's my sidekick. We normally fight these two. And then we go back, we say the famous thing, back in the day.
Yes.
And then we try to justify everything.
I just want to say it's so inspiring to see more and more young people that are on a path of self-knowledge. As Jamie said, they don't teach us that in schools, and we often don't have time in our busy schedules to do that. So it's so beautiful to see that. Yeah.
Well, tonight we've learned that behind every brilliant idea is a human being who also needs rest, support, encouragement, and care. So creativity isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic. To our amazing guest and co-host, Jamie, Liam, and our celebrity here. Wow. I have this guy taking our pictures of all of us. I wish you could see it. Shout out. Yes. To our listeners, if tonight's discussion resonates with you, remember that taking care of your mental health is not a luxury. It's a necessity. So look after your mind, because it's where your greatest ideas are born. I'm Sumaya Khan.
Jamie.
Oh, Liam.
And Lex Lafoy.
Yeah, next time you're going to do a little gig for us. Well, you were listening to Radio Lansar on 90.4 FM in Durban. This is Youth Frequency. Until next time, keep creating, keep believing, keep inspiring, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. Assalamu alaikum.
Pico hijra, Pico. You wear it for Allah. Hijra, Pico hijra, Pico hijra, Pico.
An informative Islamic global perspective.